Hello, my name is Eli.
And I'm David. In these next few minutes, we'll be speaking all about George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was one of the most prominent scientists and inventors of his time, as well as a teacher at the Tuskegee Institute. Carver devised over 100 products using just one crop, the peanut, including dyes, plastics, gasolines, although his most notable accomplishment, or rather the one that we hear about the most, is peanut butter.
Carver was born into slavery in Diamond Grove, Newton County, near Crystal Place, now known as Diamond, Missouri, possibly in 1864 or 1865, though the exact date is not known. When George was only a week old, George, a sister, and his mother were kidnapped by night raiders from Arkansas. George's brother, James, was rushed to safety from the kidnappers. The kidnappers sold the slaves in Kentucky. Their owner, Moses Carver, hired John Bentley to find them, but he located only the infant, George. Moses negotiated with the raiders to gain the boy's return.
After slavery was abolished, Moses Carver and his wife Susan raised George and his older brother James as their own children. It was on the farm that George first began to fall in love with nature. Moses and his wife encouraged George to continue his intellectual pursuits, and Aunt Susan taught him the basics of reading and writing.
He began his formal education at the age of 12, which required him to leave the home of his adopted parents. At this time, schools were segregated by race, so with no school available for black students near Carver's home, he moved to Newton County in southwest Missouri, where he worked as a farmhand and studied in a one-room schoolhouse. He later attended Minneapolis High School in Canton.
At the age of 30, Carver gained acceptance to Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa, where he was the first black student. He later transferred to Iowa Agricultural College, now Iowa State University, in 1891, where he gained a Bachelor of Science degree in 1894 and a Master's of Science degree in Bacterial Botany and Agriculture in 1897. Carver became a member of the faculty of Iowa State Agriculture and Mechanics, the first black faculty member for Iowa College. He taught classes about soil conservation and chemistry in 1897. Booker T. Washington, founder of the Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute for Negroes, convinced Carver to come south and serve as the school's director of agriculture. He remained on the faculty until his death in 1943.
At Tuskegee, Carver developed his crop rotation method, which revolutionized southern agriculture. He taught the farmers how to alternate the soil-depleting cotton crops with soil-enriching crops such as peanuts, peas, soybeans, and sweet potatoes. He also came up with the process for creating a plastic material from soybeans. Henry Ford later used this plastic in the manufacturing of automobiles. George eventually started popularizing his uses for peanuts products, including peanut butter, paper, ink, and oils. Beginning in 1880, Carver compiled dozens of peanut recipes and different uses for the plant, including cheese, milk, coffee, flour, ink, dyes, plastic, wood stains, soap, linoleum, medicinal oils, and cosmetics. And he even claimed to have developed a type of peanut nitroglycerin.
In his lifetime, George received numerous awards. In 1916, Carver was made a member of the Royal Society of Arts in England, one of only a handful of Americans at the time to receive this honor. Carver's promotion of peanuts gained him the most notability. He was nicknamed the Black Leonardo by Time magazine in 1941. Carver was given an honorary doctorate from Simpson College in 1928.
In 1923, he received the Spingarn Medal given every year by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. In 1939, he received the Roosevelt Medal for restoring Southern agriculture. On July 14, 1943, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt honored Carver with a national monument dedicated to his accomplishments. The area of Carver's childhood near Diamond Grove, Missouri, preserved as a park, this park was the first designated national monument to an African American in the United States.
Carver did not patent or profit from many of his products. He freely gave his discoveries to people. He would say about his ideas, "God gave them to me. How can I sell them to someone else?" In 1940, Carver donated his life savings to the establishment of the Carver Research Foundation at Tuskegee for continuing research in agriculture. George died January 5, 1943. George Washington Carver may have been born a slave, but he eventually went on to become a botanist, chemist, and one of the best inventors of his time, whose work revived the late 19th and early 20th century agricultural economy of the American South.
But to us personally, he will always be known as the guy who invented peanut butter.